Have you ever just felt different? Like you've been carrying this invisible weight for as long as you can remember? Well, if you are someone who's always been told you grew up too fast, then this one is for you. We're going to get into why that is. It really all starts with a simple, quiet truth that so many people live with. And it's this: some children just don't get the chance to actually be children. And here's the thing. You were probably praised for it, right? People called you strong, wise beyond your years. But what if we just pause and ask, what if that compliment wasn't really a compliment at all? Maybe this was your label. You were known as the calm one, the one who never made a fuss. Or hey, maybe you were the responsible one, always counted on to do the right thing, no questions asked. The one who just didn't cause problems. You kept the peace, you smoothed everything over, you held it all together so nobody else had to. And this really shows the split, doesn't it? It's like there were two totally different childhoods happening side by side. Other kids, they were out there playing, being careless. But you were busy worrying. You learned how to be careful, very, very early. And this right here is the absolute core of it all. See, growing up too fast like that, it isn't a sign of strength. It's a sign of survival. It's a powerful, necessary adaptation. Okay, so there's actually a clinical term for this whole experience. It's called parentification. It's what happens when a child has to take on these heavy adult roles. And get this, your brain literally rewires itself to push your own needs down and make you feel responsible for everyone else. So does any of this ring a bell? You are the peacekeeper. You're constantly scanning the room for danger. You're always thinking 3 steps ahead. And oh man, that last one, feeling guilty when you even try to rest? Yeah, that's a classic sign. And that feeling, it goes deep. I mean, it gets wired right into your nervous system. That's why even today it can feel almost impossible to just switch off. Because back then, relaxing meant letting your guard down, and that felt dangerous. Which leads right into the next piece of the puzzle, this fierce emotional self-reliance. You learned really early on that if you needed comfort or support, well, you'd better be ready to give it to yourself. So you just stopped asking. And you can see how this plays out in adult life, right? Asking for help, it feels almost impossible. And when someone does try to take care of you, it's just deeply uncomfortable. Being vulnerable feels totally foreign, maybe even a little suspicious. Just let that sink in for a second. It's not that being independent is a bad thing, of course not. But yours wasn't a choice. It was a necessity. You were forced into it before you were ready. And all of this kind of builds up to this next one, a deep, deep need for control, and a mind that just won't stop overthinking. See, if your world felt chaotic and unpredictable back then, it makes perfect sense that your brain now tries to manage every single variable. It's trying to build the safety that was missing. This is that thing where you try to plan for every possible outcome, right? You map out every little detail. You run through 17 different what-if scenarios just to make a tiny decision. It is absolutely exhausting, but it feels like you have to do it. And here's why. It's because chaos for you once meant something really, really serious. You're not overreacting today. Your body is simply remembering a time when a lack of control was a genuine threat. And all of this leads to the last big challenge, which is just this difficulty feeling light. You know, that simple joy, that playfulness, that silliness, it can feel like a totally different language when you're so used to operating in crisis mode. So what does this actually feel like on the inside? Well, joy can feel suspicious, like you're just waiting for the other shoe to drop. You've probably always felt older than your friends, and you carry this feeling that you just missed out on the messy, innocent part of being a kid. Yeah, you basically skipped a whole stage of life that most people just take for granted, and that can be tough. But here's the flip side. Here's what this experience gave you. Because growing up this way, it didn't just leave you with burdens. It also forged some incredible strengths. For one, you are perceptive, like really perceptive. You can walk into a room and just know what's going on with everyone. You also became deeply emotionally intelligent. You know what people need, sometimes even before they do. You're a master at handling tense situations because you had a lifetime of practice. And maybe most importantly, you are incredibly resilient. You're resourceful and tough in a way that can only come from having gone through what you went through. You learned how to survive. So let's just reframe this whole thing one last time. You're not different because something is wrong with you. You were different because you adapted. You did exactly what you needed to do to get through. And now, after all that time, all that work, holding everything and everyone together, you're allowed to rest. You really, truly are. If this resonated with you, consider liking the video. And if you want more psychology-based insights explained in simple, practical language, hit that subscribe button. See you in the next video.